What is happening, ladies and gentlemen? Ty with the GoPro strapped to my head from Ty Drives. This is the 2026 Ford Maverick Lobo, and who's ready for a test drive? I know I certainly am. I've actually never driven one of these Mavericks. They've been out for quite some time now, maybe 3 or 4 years already, and I've never really gotten a drive once. This is both going to be our first time POV drives. Now, before we get into driving, I'm going to take 2 or 3 minutes just to go over the quick features and what this Maverick Lobo actually is. So, the Lobo is actually the sporty trimmable to the Maverick. It's got some street performance inspired styling. It also has the more powerful engine under the hood. It starts out here with the grille, where you can see a glossy black grille. You also have a lot more body colored accents on the Maverick front bumper, side rocker covers, and the rear bumper. We have 19-inch wheels wrapped around 225/55 tires. And in case you want to see a full features review, so everything to do about this Maverick, every feature, every little nook and cranny, the bed, under the hood, the rear seats, the front seats, I've done a full POV features review too. So make sure you check that out. We'll go through everything that has to do with the Maverick. Obviously, back here is what gives it kind of the Maverick name. It's a half car, half truck. It's a very, very useful truck bed. As you can see, there's tie downs everywhere. There's power hookups, there's lighting up top, and there's even a little storage thing right there. Now I wanted to walk around this side so you could see the window sticker. $37,990 for this specific one. Not really optioned with a whole lot other than these wheels and a compact spare tire. The rear, as you can see, all body colored, which is a little bit different than the normal Maverick. We have the reverse camera, parking sensors, and the trailer hitch, and the Maverick can tow up to 4,000 pounds when properly equipped. The rear seats, to my surprise, are actually pretty roomy, I guess, given the size of this vehicle. If I hop in, I'm 5'10". Got about an inch of legroom back here with some chargers, fold down armrest, and there's actually some bins below the seat where if you fold it up, you could put some stuff. We've got blind spot warning. We have a very unique storage solutions inside this car. Full power driver's seat with the Lobo logo, lime and blue stitching. And let's hop in. Turn down the climate control a little bit so you can hear me. And let me adjust this camera so we can see everything, and we'll set out on our drive. Okay, so let's go through a few features on the inside of the Maverick before we set out. So basically, just a quick overview. We have a digital speedometer right in front of us with some information you could show, such as your music, trip computers, all kinds of good stuff. We have a pretty large widescreen display with wireless CarPlay and Android Auto. All of the climate controls are integrated in the touchscreen, which is a hit or miss for me personally. And we also have your rotary dial for the gear selector. Push button start at the bottom, all of your cruise control, adjustments for the screen, and also drive modes are on the steering wheel. Then we also have paddle shifters because this is the Lobo. So, enough jabber. Let's put this down into drive, and we'll take it out for a little drive here. Now again, as I was saying, this is actually the first time I've really driven a Maverick. I believe maybe when it first came out, I might have taken it for like a quick drive around the block, but that's, you know, a few years ago at least that I've driven one of these. And we have the more powerful engine under the hood. Since this is the Lobo, that would make sense. So we're going to test out the acceleration. We'll switch up. Maybe we're in normal mode right now. We'll put it into sport mode before we do our acceleration test. We'll see what the power feels like. I have a feeling that this is going to feel really good, given the size of this vehicle and the power that it has. Our first road that we're going to get on is more of a main road, so kind of like a 2-lane state highway. You know, we'll see what it's like up at the higher-ish speeds, hopefully 40 to 50 miles an hour. See what the sound insulation and things like that are like. Turn down this AC a little bit here. And I turn off our auto start stop so we don't have any intervention from that. And off we go. My first impressions are, you know, the engine transmission combination is actually a really, really smooth combination. You barely ever feel shifts. The engine remains quiet at the lower RPMs, and it's really a pleasure to drive. You don't have that kind of, you know, real truck feel because it's still a unibody vehicle, not a full frame. But it does, you know, you do get some bumps where you're like, hey, you know, it's kind of actually almost feels like a truck. So it's got a nice suspension setup, but we'll really get a good feel for it later on in the test drive, where I have quite the bumpy road for us to take. You really hear the turbo though, which I love. That's what you want in a sporty trim level of a vehicle. You want to be able to feel the experience, hear the experience, and that's, you know, seems like so far that's what you get with the Maverick. The steering does lighten up once you're on the road, but it does have a pretty good feel to it. It's not completely numb. And you know, we were up at 45 miles an hour before we got stuck behind this Honda Accord, but up at those speeds you do get a little bit of tire noise. You get a little bit of outside noise too from the oncoming traffic, but that's to be expected. Let's see, yeah, just a little bit of noise from the oncoming traffic, but yeah, I'd say this is a nice driving vehicle. You might get a little bit of unwanted noise while you're on the highway up at higher speeds, but I'd say around town cruising this will be just fine. As soon as we turn green here, we're going to take a right on this back road, and I'm going to put it into sport mode, since this is where we're going to do our acceleration test. I'm going to keep the transmission in automatic mode, let it do its thing, and we'll kind of just get it up to 25 miles an hour and hit the throttle and see what we can do. All right, we are at 25. Let's go. So we've got a pretty decent acceleration from this vehicle. Actually, not quite what I was expecting. Maybe this is a little bit heavier than I thought it was, but it didn't feel like it quite had the grunt from at least just stomping on the throttle. Up here we'll have another little straight section. Kind of give it maybe like half throttle. We'll see what the mid-range power is like. That's where the power is. Okay, that makes sense. So, I can tell you, it definitely likes the kind of mid-range power versus the 6,000 RPM acceleration. That is for sure. We can immediately notice that in sport mode, the steering does get a little bit heavier, the throttle response gets a little bit more sensitive, and the RPMs stay a little bit higher. Let's put it back into our normal mode. Now, the engine we're working with here is the 2-liter turbocharged inline 4, and it produces 250 horsepower and 280 pound-feet of torque, which those are really healthy numbers for a vehicle this size, which was maybe partly why I thought we would get a little bit more stronger acceleration. Now, the Maverick LOBO has a 7-speed automatic transmission. It's a quick-shifting automatic transmission, which is kind of unique to the LOBO because the other Mavericks with this engine get an 8-speed transmission, more shifted towards fuel economy, and the hybrid gets a CVT transmission. You can get either front-wheel drive or all-wheel drive, which is the LOBO actually comes standard in all-wheel drive, which is pretty cool. Now this is our very bumpy road, and I can say with these larger wheels, you definitely do feel the imperfections in the road. This does have a pretty rigid ride here. The more imperfect roads. I will say over smooth pavement, it is nice and smooth though. Got a little corner coming up here. We'll see how it feels. So yeah, your trade-off for the ride is good handling. And this actually does feel pretty good around the corners, I must say. I never thought I'd be able to say that a truck could corner as well as this does, but that is what the Lobo is all about. Actually, if you go into the Lobo driving mode, it actually tells you it's for a closed course, you know, driving. So, you know, that to me is, that's a racetrack. That's what that means. Or like a an autocross course. And this definitely feels like it could do that. The larger wheels, the 19-inch wheels, that's a big setup for a car this size. And we have some smaller sidewalls, which is a translation to better handling. Really do hear that turbocharger, and I love it. I absolutely love it. Other than that, the engine does remain very quiet. So for your everyday driving, it will be a nice, pleasurable cruise. The seats are also pretty comfortable. I find that they're a little bit flat in the bolstering on your back here. I could use a little bit extra bolstering, but there is a good amount of adjustability for these seats. You have the two-way lumbar, you have the height, you have the back and forth, and the backrest. So there's a good amount of adjustability there. I find that also if you give it some throttle input, you know, maybe not quite flooring it, but if you give it a little bit of throttle input, the engine will actually decide to spool up the turbo rather than changing gears, which is always the way I thought it should be, which is cool. You get that kind of rush of power from the turbo. Brakes feel good too, and steering wheel feels nice in the hands. You've got some good grip bolsters right up here at your 10 and 2 notches, and you also have those paddle shifters now mounted to the steering wheel. And to wrap up the 2026 Ford Maverick Lobo, it does have a nice amount of features. It also drives pretty nice too. Just keep in mind, if you're the type of person that wants a more comfortable ride, maybe stay away from the Lobo. It does have those big wheels again that can hinder the ride over some rougher roads. So just keep that in mind. Maybe you want to look at something like the Tremor or an XLT or a Lariat instead of the Lobo. But I do find that this Lobo does exactly what it's designed to do. It's got some good power, it does handle pretty nice, and it looks sporty. And I really like the interior, kind of the quirky finishes and touches on the interior of the car. But that pretty much does it for the test drive of the 2026 Ford Maverick Lobo. Make sure you check out our full features review, which should be popping up at the corner of your screen there. And I hope you enjoyed watching, and stick with us next time.